Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be playing some best of 3 historic in the last kind of 48 hours of the season, see if we can make a push for top 1200 Mythic. And this is a deck, it is a Golgari food sacrifice deck that's been kind of floating around historic. I took the main shell of this from TheNerdySteve, another content creator, so check him out. But the core of the deck is kind of a Lurrus, hyper-aggressive, kind of turbo squirrel deck. So Ravenous Squirrel gets bigger whenever you sacrifice an artifact or a creature. Each cat oven loop generates +2 counters on it. So it's kind of aggro squirrel. And then kind of the shell, I modified Steve's list a bit, but you have Meathook Massacre that's board wipe, but also with cat drains too. So it kind of mimics the Mayhem Devil style triggers. So we have that. We have Shambling Ghast to go ahead on mana, also as kind of removal. A lot of ways to trigger Revolt in this deck. So we have Fatal Push, we have the Cat Oven Loop, Goose for value food, Trail of Crumbs for card advantage. Trail can find a lot of spells in this deck as well as lands. And then we have a combination of Deadly Dispute as well as Village Rites to get additional card advantage. Steve's version was splashing red just for one of Valky in the full 75. I don't think it's worth making your mana base worse to do that. I'm playing some Hives as creature lands. You also have Kalani Garden just to make some more tokens. And then you have sideboard options of Fatal Push, just more removal, Mortality Spear to get rid of a bunch of different things, some Thoughtseize versus Control, Soul Guide versus Graveyard, Feed the Swarm, Witch's Vengeance as sweepers, Pulse, and Rampage the Clans was kind of an interesting one. I had to ask him what it's for, but 9 live Solemnity combo. Destroys all the enchantments, they lose the game. In a pinch against some other decks, like if they have a lot of portable holes, stuff like that. We also have a fair number of like ovens or Trail of Crumbs and meat hooks, so it could kind of be a combo-esque piece out of the sideboard. So I think I was hovering around 99, like 1800s 99, but we'll give this a shot, see how it plays out, if we want to make any changes, and go from there. It's going to be a lot of clicking in this one, as is with every cat oven deck, but we'll see how it goes. As always, if you do enjoy the content, if you can, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way to help support the channel for free. We try to get a video out every day. I'm in the midst of moving, as you can tell from the boxes, so a little bit slower to start, but as always, appreciate the support. Genki usually plays auras. I think he might be on time wipe. Fellow Toronto lad. I think we keep this. Auras is just not really well suited right now. I know in the past he's liked goblins. Could also be on Neo form. He plays that a lot. I think this turn I just want to get some more action in hand. I'd like to get a Fatal Push sooner than later. Drawing more lines here doesn't help. Could see a counter here, but okay, we got the squirrel. Jeez, I played 22 lines in the deck. Let's do this. So Charm we have to be mindful of, can steal our squirrel. Second squirrel. see what they want to do here. So let's do this. I could like force it to try to get enough power, but I think we're okay this game, just kind of playing along the edges. Given that we drew cat, I think I'm okay just doing this. They could also, like, in response, have killed it. You might be stealing it here from me. Yeah, so he had answers in hand. Yeah, that's actually fine because I can meat hook here. Also just have fatal push, which is probably better. So that's food. So I can meat hook for 4, or I can get squirrel going. I think let's just do that. Get the squirrel going. Luris to hand. Lets me get my other squirrel back. Kind of surprised he went that aggressive on that line. One, two. Get rid of Niv here. So I probably want to wait on the Cauldron Familiar with Luris. There's value in doing so. We'll just do this. So I think given that they tapped, I guess I should have waited for them to make up their mind. Top, top. So it's going to be on Alrins. Be nice if I could get an oven. How about more lands? Okay, oven's pretty solid. So I'm doing this first. If he has a counter spell or something, he's going to want to do this prior. Let's get rid of Galvanic so he can't copy. Sure. One extra bird doesn't do too much. So we'll want Thoughtseize in this matchup. We'll probably want Soul Guide Lantern. It's probably not worth just letting, like, because I can't get it to 6. The nice thing with this deck, like, we see all this card advantage we're accruing. Okay, so another Allruns there. Also doesn't have Hall the Storm Giants. Second Oven should be GG. Cool. Game 1, Baba Genki. So this matchup, Pulse seems good. Fatal Push seems good. Probably the Soul Guides, Thoughtseize. Bone Shard seems like it's going to be hard to get off. The Village Rites can get out. Deadly Dispute still hits off treasure tokens from things like the Ghast. Maybe we trim down the Ghast, but keep maybe down one Fatal Push. 22 lands. Probably trim one Meat Hook in this matchup. So he might have Prismari Command. If he has Graveyard Hate, that's fine. We can play around. Soul Guide's good at just dealing with the graveyard. Do I even want Pulse? It's another answer to Niv if we don't have enough mana. Which is probably worth it. Or let's trim a Deadly Dispute. Let's try this out. Probably see like Prismari Command. I think he should have probably stolen early. So we have an interesting consideration. If we go Trail on 2 versus Hold Up Dispute, I think we start by attacking. Priority could be because of Fabled Passage. I think we do this now. Getting this down has a lot of advantage. Next turn we can shock in. I think we're just gonna Soul Guide here. And then Deadly Dispute. I don't really have much going on here. Just can keep him off Delirium. If they're gonna bring an Aether Gust, hit that, I'm fine. So instant and sorcery in the yard. See if he shocks in here. Create a treasure here. Perfect. So I can sneak this down. I think we're just going to do this. And do this. Then we can do this. I think that's probably worth keeping on top. We got a lot of food in reserve. And I think this allows us to grind out versus them. Could see a counter spell here. So I shouldn't have done that because now I can't counter. Just leave it like this. We could revolt. They might take an extra turn here. Instant sorcery, land in the graveyard. Having two pushes and then not having dragon kind of feels bad. Could be Niv here. Sure. I'm gonna hold off because they might be trying to steal my cat. Divide by 0. Oh, let's get rid of Alrins. Actually, what I can do... Oh, I already went to end step. Saying what I could have done was bring this to hand. So I think what we do... Because I don't want to give him a chance to divide by 0 here. We'll save this. If they hit egg, then we're in a bad spot. Deluge. That was a good top deck. We're gonna have to crack this probably. Let's do this. Archmage Charm. So I think given that, let's do this, do this. I'm just gonna wait to see if potentially I hit Thoughtseize. No, just Squirrel. So doing this now, we get the bonus. So we do this. I guess I could wait to divide by 0. Because like now they could divide by 0 this or steal it. I got the egg. Meat hook. So I think we do this. They divide my squirrel. So he can get the card draw, he can get... What else can he get? With Luris, I can get back Shambling Ghast by sacking my Cauldron Familiar. I can Meat Hook for 2. Just not finding anything's been kind of shitty. I think that's right. We fizzle the spell. So now he's kind of in top deck mode. Does have the castle. That's a good draw. I think we have to try for this. Can't trail this turn. I could Shambling Ghast, but I think Squirrel, it's the biggest threat on its own. Worst thing will be like Alrund's Epiphany. Kept one on top. Yeah. Because any spell kills Luris. Oh, that's disgusting. So they do have anger, so I need to be mindful of that. I think we hold off for now. So sacrifice this. Gain 2 life. See if we can piece something together here. Go squirrel. I guess I shouldn't play this out yet. Should have waited on this. Any spells lethal? Yeah, because I also don't give him a target then. Okay, so they have Fading Hope. I need to be mindful of that. I don't think we want these disputes. I think it's probably right to play another one of these. Probably. So they're on anger, so anger makes it worse. Maybe Village Rites is better, just mana efficiency wise. It could be right to play Mortality Spear, but I'm just thinking like mana efficiency wise. Mulligan here. Sure. Would have obviously liked the land there. Probably need to kill this now. That was a decent draw. Honestly, a meat hook's not terrible right now. Second egg. Getting this down feels pretty good. The more like incidental chip damage we can do, the better. Finding meat hook would be good. The unfortunate thing is we can't find like removal necessarily outside of meat hook. We have the extra food, so I'm probably gonna Village Rites. We probably should have done it like in response. Okay, cool. Got a squirrel. They could have like Fading Hope or something, or a piece of removal. I think it's fine anyways. I just want to drain them as much as possible. So I'm doing this pre-combat. I want to entice them. Think here. So that's just 3. So if I do this, okay, so let's see for a second. Sack, sack, sack. No, I gotta play around anger here. Second egg. It's a bit scary, not gonna lie. Fatal Push would have been nice. Colony Garden. With Allruns, it's going to start getting real dicey. Anger the Gods does a number against us. Niv is also terrifying. So we need to find some action. I mean, Goose is just another body. So like Goose, Luris, so attacking here. It's just like an extra trigger here. Just have to hope one turn no Allruns Epiphany. Shit. So 2 copies there. Yeah, that gets it. Kind of shitty draws. think we're dead regardless. Close. Alrund's ruining another format. We'll give this one more go. See how it plays out. That matchup's a bit tough just because with Alrund's it just kind of takes over. I don't think we play that any different. Hand seems fine. Have a revolt threat. Merfolk. Well, we have a meat hook. So I think we want to take them off lords, obviously. Those being the most problematic. So here, while Kalani Garden does present a blocker, I think I want to start getting Squirrel going. I guess I could chump another turn. And then next turn I could trigger Revolt if needed. Because with Meat Hook it's actually pretty good. Three threes. So I think now we're gonna have to pull the plug. So if I do this, I can tower, but I think we Kalani. Let's just do this now. Because this lets me do it for 3 next turn, which will be good. Like 1 lord and something else. Four. So I actually probably should have played tower. Double lord is the issue. I can deal 3. Okay, well, let's try to survive this turn. Hand's been quite awkward. Yeah, that gets it. Just pure lords that game. So this matchup easy. Fatal push. Bring in the spears. Bring in Witch's Vengeance. Yeah, probably Witch's Vengeance. Let's get rid of the Deadly Disputes. The Bone Shard, I think. Run it like this. just like I said, awkward. If they hit one less Lord that turn, we sweep the board, and they're really far behind them every turn, basically having a Lord. It was probably right that turn to block with everything. We'll Goose here. Next turn I can Trail and Cauldron Familiar. They are upgrading to Tropical Island. So we'll do this turn. Next turn I can Cauldron Familiar, make a food. Seems good. I want an extra food so I could bring back my Cauldron Familiar after. So they go Regery here. So they go Mistbinder. Sure. We're gonna sweep this turn. Let's keep our life total as high as possible. Oh, fuck. I needed that land. That was dumb. That was dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Squirrel's actually really good here. Okay, so that buys me a turn. Because we have the double food, I could play around Relic. I needed that goose food. I was not thinking straight there. I do want to keep an extra food around to respond to Relic. Okay, so they're playing Scavenging Ooze here. Take two here. So I'm gonna let them respond here. So I'm going full control. They need to decide here what they want to do. So doing this now, so then I also get a food token so I can play around the relic. That was the big brain turn. Honestly safer to just do this now. Missed out a point of damage there. Because now they could crack Relic, because what they could have done was tap and then pay the mana to exile both as I triggered. So this way I keep something around. Also have this Hive that's relevant. Opponent's digging for lands. Rejury. Let's just get rid of Scavenging Ooze. So they can like flash, have some shenanigans there. Again, just doing this now. When they can't exile it. Another Trail's decent. Downside is if they have like Aether Gust, they can tuck my Squirrel. But at this point, any loop kind of gets them. Alright. Much better when we actually have interaction. I think we're just going to be off village rights and just like max out on removal. If I could control their board, it's pretty good. I don't think I want that many meat hooks just because it's hard to scale up with them, especially on the play. We saw that in game 1. I wonder if they'll bring in Aether Gusts. Squirrel Squad, or that looks good. Potentially set up a Witch's Vengeance turn. See what they play out here on 2. Silvergale. I think we're just going to do this turn. And then just try to find our 3rd land naturally. I'm probably going to fire off this Witch's Vengeance. No, I'll probably feed first. See if we hit a land. Cool. Cool. So I can squirrel plus feed the swarm. Kind of want to entice them here. Just find my line drops. If I could trade with silver. I also have this meat hook. Might trade with Silver Gill Adapt here. Interesting they chose to fight there. Yeah, we'll take that. Lets me X3. Taking a 5 spot here. So if I do this, sack that. Takes him out that way, gain some life. Because now Witch's Vengeance is better. I can do this. I can play a squirrel out. Even 2 lords here isn't the worst. So let's do this. This is actually interesting. I was thinking it's Crippling Fear. With Ooze, I think we need to name Ooze here. And just try to chip in some damage. Kind of annoying that they got that split as opposed. Let that happen. I think we're just taking 4 here. Fatal Push is nice. I want to kind of trick them here. I think we got him now. Got him! Alright, this deck does take a lot of thinking. Up to 1692. Felt pretty sweet though. Like we came close against Ginky. Taking him down almost. But Alrins took us out. That game just kind of outpowered. I still am the opinion though. Crippling Fear is better than Witch's Vengeance. Although this comes down on 3. Like, it's very narrow. Like, it's very good against humans, but humans can kind of scale it. If we look at, say, Gruul or stuff like that, we can play around that. And it makes it harder. Like even in that game against Merfolk Tribal, they still had some stuff left over. But deck felt pretty strong overall. A lot of like little intricacies. You're just like nickeling and diming your opponent to death. But if you like kind of aristocrat style decks, definitely give this one a check out. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a great one and stay safe out there.